So yesterday was the day that the Chancellor of the Exchequer walked out of 10 Downing Street with a big red book in the Michael Aspel sort of style, but without any celebrities and the glitz and glamour and razzmatazz that would be accompanied by that. What was in the budget was probably less interesting than what wasn't in the budget. Take away the extra Brexit fund that was there and the stamp duty that people are no longer going to pay, which is a great deal. Maybe for people. However, what wasn't in this latest budget was actually not a surprise to probably anybody that rents houses up and down England. Now, first of all, I am taking out London from this podcast. I am seeing London as a completely different entity. Why? Because politicians do that anyway. And I'm concentrating on the 95% that are left of us that don't live inside £1 million housing estates and luxury apartments and spend £400,000 on a one-bedroom flat. What I hoped I would see in the budget yesterday was the Chancellor of the Exchequer targeting landlords that are overpricing people out of renting. Why? Because supply and demand. Nobody can afford to purchase their own home in 2017, and that's probably going to continue, regardless of the schemes that governments say that they are implementing to help us buy our house, especially the people that are first-time buyers. So how are rents being affected now? Social rents. There's a 1% cut to social rents. Tenants earning over $30,000 or $40,000 in London, just a $10,000 differential, will be required to pay market rents. Remember that word. Benefit cap is going to be reduced from 26,000 to 20,000, 23,000, only 3 more thousand in London. Secure tenancies may no longer be available, and changes to eligibility criteria for child tax credits, i.e. families with 4 or more children, are no longer eligible. Well, what's in there for tenants? Well, actually, not a great deal. So here's a radical idea. Is it not time, with the housing market the way that it is today and the severe lack of opportunities for people to purchase their first house or move from one house to a second house, especially if they bought their house in the last 5 or 10 years. So many people need to rent houses. The majority of the people here in England now rent their own houses if they're younger than the age of 30. People older than that may have bought their council house on a right to buy. So here's the radical idea. And I'm sure if you're a landlord listening to this podcast, then you'll completely disagree with what I'm about to say. But is it not time that the government started to help private tenants who are lambs to the slaughter of private landlords up and down this country? Now, because of the severe shortage of houses that are available to rent and supply and demand leads us towards us, me, you, family, friends. If you're wanting to rent a 2-bedroom house in South Yorkshire, the price for that is somewhere on average around £500 per month, when the house maybe is only worth £350 a month. So the radical idea, and the thing that I'd like you to think about is it time now to cap the amount that landlords can charge for rent? Number one, because that would help the people that are forced to rent homes and not live with mum, dad, brothers, sisters, or house share. People are being priced out of renting houses because they're paying way over the odds. And why? Because the landlords can charge pretty much whatever they want to charge. So a 2-bedroom house is costing you the price of a 3-bedroom house, and a 3-bedroom is costing you a 4-bedroom house, and so on. So I would quite like to see in the next budget, and believe me, this will not happen, a cap placed on how much money landlords can charge private tenants rents. If the landlord doesn't like the capped rent that's being placed on the property, then the landlord sells the property. Does this free up more houses that are released onto the market and therefore lower house prices, because there's more houses for people to buy, which is the issue. There's not enough new homes being built. There's not enough houses for sale. And so what's there, the prices, of course, are pushed up. The ones that are for sale, 30% of houses that are for sale are snapped up by people from abroad and property investors, which is brilliant. If the rent that they charge the tenants to live in their properties is capped at a certain level. So nothing drastic. All I'm suggesting is that fairly there is a cap placed on landlords so they can't rob us blind.